Hello and welcome to Cuesta Sports Monthly, an in-depth look at Cuesta athletics. I'm Peter Schuler, and on this month's show we will visit with Cuesta cross-country runners Sam Duston and Cam Goldstone, returning state qualifiers from the men's team and women's team. We will also welcome new Cuesta head coach Whitney Meyer and star middle blocker for the volleyball team Kelly Cole. And just before we go, we'll steal a few minutes with Cuesta athletic director Bob Mariucci. Right now, we're joined by Cuesta Harriers Sam Duston and Cam Goldstone here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. Welcome, Cam. Welcome, Sam.
Hello.
Cam and Sam show. You guys are getting seasons kind of getting towards the end right now, heading into Western State Conference championships this coming weekend.
Yeah. Yes.
Both you guys are back for the second year. Mm-hmm. Cam, you were all conference last year. Both of you guys were returning state qualifiers. So tell me a little bit about your experience this year coming back, Sam.
It's been very different than last year. I mean, we don't have a full girls team, but it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge because it's definitely brings me to challenge myself without having a full team, and I don't know, it's a lot different for me, but it's a good challenge to have a leadership role and to be part of a small team.
So last year we had the state champion for both the men's and women's in the state were on your team. So this year you've been the lead runner in almost every race.
Yeah.
So has that been a role that you just kind of said, okay, I'm taking that, or is that something that you were kind of not ready for?
It happened naturally, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I'm seeing Miranda being top girl and winning state and stuff. Yeah, it's definitely hard to take after her, and I knew I wasn't going to take leadership role, being number one girl for state or anything, but it does happen naturally, I think, and I knew I had to kind of step up because I knew we were going to have a small team. I was I got to step up, be a leader, and just show that we can be a team even if we're a small team. So, yeah.
Now, Cam, you were kind of in the same situation last year. You got to run behind a former Tahoe native, Sean McDermott, who was a state champion, and you kind of filled in that role. You've been a leader in I think almost all but one race this year. So how has that change been for you this year?
It's been really fun. I mean, last year we had our two beyond solid runners, Sean and Trevor, who were definitely leaders, and this year it's the whole team running as a pack, more or less, and it's really fun to have a group of guys that's right there to push each other all the time.
Now, how often do you guys pretty much train together, both teams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sam, give me your outlook. What do you think about the men's team this year and their chances at the conference and moving on to the state?
I personally love the boys team. I really do love them, and I really think they're going to do very well this year. They have a very tight pack, and I enjoy watching them a lot because they're just right there. And it was very shocking to see them very close this season. So, yeah, I enjoy them a lot.
You think they'll be back at state, the two-time state qualifier right next to you?
Oh yeah, they'll definitely go to state. I definitely believe that. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You guys are going to do really well.
All right, I'm going to flip the script with you right now. Cam, what do you think about Sam and her group?
I think I really like the girls team. I like actually hanging out with them and seeing them in the student center every day.
I actually show up now.
I'm super excited to see them race, and I want to see them qualify individually for conference, although I think we just hit 5 girls, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I actually think they can make it to state. It'll be hard, but knowing these ladies, they've got a good chance.
All right. Now, Sam, what about, this is your second year in the program. Mm-hmm. You ran track last year. How do you feel about your personal development coming from high school and after a year and a half in this program so far?
I feel like it's been a lot better than high school. High school, I kind of struggled, and I really didn't know how I struggled. It was just mostly school and just being stressed out about college and stuff. But coming into Cuesta, I improved so much, and I'm so happy with how I ran this year and this year and last year as well. And I keep on improving, and that's all I can hope for. So.
Now, you're a local high school student. Was Cuesta just that was your option? That was where you're going to go, and then?
I mean, I was actually planning on going to Colorado State, but I decided to not go because of money issues, and it was just such a much better deal to go to Cuesta and go for first year free. And
lower elevations.
Yeah, a little lower elevation, yeah. And I honestly wanted to keep running because I wasn't really stoked about my senior year in high school, and I was like, I got to keep running. I got to prove to myself that I can do better than this. So I'm so glad that I decided to come to Cuesta.
Now, are you hoping to move on and run into the next level again?
I'm hoping to move on if someone gives me the opportunity to do that. But yeah, if even not, I'll run for a club or something. So I just want to keep running.
Now, Cam, you came down from Tahoe. We talked about did Sean McDermott have anything to do with that, or was this just something that you wanted to come down here?
I actually had a lot of friends who were coming down to Cuesta. They turned me on to the school. Sean was definitely one of them. He was my teammate during high school and my coach for a short period of time.
Is that difficult running with your coach, or is that okay?
Actually, it was really fun because Sean, we'd have one other coach give us the workouts, and then Sean would run them with us and give us encouragement during them. But he was a good influence on me to come down here. He was a very strong factor.
Now, would you like to move on too? Is this?
Yeah, I would after this. Definitely going to be at Cuesta for 3 years though. So, but after that, I'd like to check out some other programs and see where I'm going.
Now, you guys both ran in the track too. Are you guys what is it? Cross country or track? Which was if you guys do you like the lanes or do you like the scenery?
Ooh, that's a great question. I was really heavy on cross country when I started Cuesta, but after my season last year, I actually really like track. I love the speed and I mean how short the mile is. I only run the mile, so it's a lot shorter than 3 miles. But I love just running track. It's just so the atmosphere is so competitive, and just being able to push yourself that hard is kind of nice.
Is it kind of having the different events and all those type of things that kind of make the
it's just so I don't know, it's a lot different than it's cross country. Cross country just run one race and you're done, and you just kind of pass out and at the end of the day.
It was a hot day the other day for the tour to Cuesta, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How about you?
I like track and cross country depending on which season I'm in. Right now, I really like cross country, but I know as soon as I get in the track, I'm going to be like, you know what, this is so much better than cross country, because track has longer races like 10K, and cross country is limited to the 4 miles, and it's always dusty, but track is everybody's fairly competing. I like both of them equally, but the season I'm in is the one I usually like more.
I guess that's convenient, isn't it? Yeah. Now, you guys have raced all over the place. You raced in Bakersfield. You raced, do you have a favorite course, or is it local course, or is it just all just one foot in front of the other out there? You think the idea is cross country is you're seeing different sceneries.
Yeah.
But what?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't really have a favorite course. I honestly liked our state course at Woodward Park in Fresno. Something about that course I ran in high school too, and it's actually a really nice course, beautiful, and it's actually kind of beautiful because in a park, it's not in the middle of
and
Fresno.
You're there for the big time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I actually like that course a lot.
I was actually going to say the Fresno course, so I'm going to change my answer to this course we ran for conference previews a few weeks ago. It was ridiculously hilly and super fun.
All right.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, good luck at Cuesta State Conference. I hope you guys both make it back to state this year. And then we'll see you again in the spring for the track and field season. We have another big season coming up. So thank you very much, Sam Duston, Cam Goldstone.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. When we return, we'll take a few moments with volleyball with Coach Whitney Meyer and Kelly Cole joining us here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. We'll be right back with more after these messages.
This program is produced by Cuesta Broadcasting. Start your radio, TV, and film career at Cuesta College.
Welcome back to Cuesta Sports Monthly. We're back on campus and back on the hardwood with Cuesta Sports Monthly. I'm Peter Schuler, and we're joined by a pair of volleyball players, our brand new head coach Whitney Meyer and middle blocker Kelly Cole. Welcome, Whitney and Kelly, to Cuesta Sports Monthly. Season's underway right now. How are you feeling in your first season on the bench as a head coach?
It's been a little nerve-wracking, to be honest. I feel the pressure immensely as the head coach, and some days I go, well, why did I step into this role? Being assistant was nice and comfortable, but enjoying the challenge and enjoying the team, and we're having a very successful year so far.
Now, at the beginning of the season, it seemed like you and former head coach Rocky Nystrom were going to split the duties, but it seems like as the season's progressed, it's been more and more just you. Kind of, was that a safety net, and then you felt like you were comfortable, or?
So Rocky and athletic director Bob Mariucci decided to do a transition, and I felt confident from day one, and I think it was just allowing the administration to kind of see that I could handle all the duties that it entailed of being a head coach. And so haven't seen Rocky as much on the road, but she's also coaching at a local high school up in Templeton, so she's got other duties.
Now, you started at Cuesta as an assistant coach after you graduated from UCLA. And then you went on and became a player, and then assistant coach. Talk about that transition from coach to player to coach, and now head coach.
Right. So coming back, I've always, volleyball's my passion, and so as soon as I moved to the area, I said, hey, Rocky, do you need anybody? And so being an assistant was awesome, but I would find myself in practice thinking, well, I could still do this. I could still compete at this level. And so after finding out that all I needed to do was be a full-time student, and I found some classes online that I could take while working full-time, it was a great opportunity to get the uniform on again and feel that pride of playing for a school. And so I just loved it. Rocky thought I was her little coach on the court, and could kind of help direct traffic as best as I could. And then had to retire the uniform, broken arm, and decided maybe my body needs to take a rest. And but it was a smooth transition back. I didn't see any, I coached some girls that I played with, and I played with some girls I coached, and vice versa. And it seemed we had the right maturity at the time to adapt into that.
Now, Kelly, you've played with Coach Duston in her final and 24th year last year, and now the first year with the Whitney Meyer era. What has that transition been like for you? You went from one coach, and style-wise, how has it changed?
I personally think it was kind of like the same. I feel more comfortable this year because I'm a second year. Last year I was always kind of like on the edge of being kind of scared, like not wanting to mess up, because I've heard so many good things like Rocky and all that. So I was just more comfortable this year.
All right. Now, both you and Rocky played for Cuesta College. Mm-hmm. Would you consider yourselves more player coaches, or more, kind of captain of the ship type coach? What's your kind of coaching style or your coaching philosophy?
So I definitely tell my girls it's not a democracy, and I think they've found that out in the hard way sometimes. But I do feel that being a player, and specifically a Cuesta College athlete, I understand their outside needs and what they're working, and what it means to take a class till 9 o'clock at night the day before a match. And so I understand online classes and how being a student athlete at the college, and so empathetic as a coach, as well as I do run a tight ship and expect a lot of respect out of them.
So many of our players are from outside of the area. So many of our students from outside of the area. Cuesta has a nationwide draw. We can say that, maybe international draw if we count basketball. But so what was the thing, Kelly? We went from Bakersfield. What was the biggest part of the transition for you coming into Cuesta College?
I would say just kind of getting used to the area, just everything, because I live in the valley and it's way different than here. So just that kind of stuff.
And how was it different? Just because it's a college town, or just what do you think was the biggest factor for you?
I would say the college town. I wasn't used to just seeing a bunch of just kids everywhere. So yeah. Now,
you went to Garces Memorial, and like I said before the show, we talked about whenever somebody talks about a great school in Bakersfield area, it's you're from Delano, but it's always Garces Memorial. What was it? A smaller private school, and now to a public school, even though it's not a large school. Talk about the transition from the private school to the public school.
Garces was just like everyone knew everybody. It was like a family. And then when I came here, I'm just like, oh, I don't really know you. Like, I just see different people every day. It's just kind of different. Now,
was volleyball the focus for you coming over here? Was that, or was that just something you wanted to do and ended up being kind of it creates its own social structure, doesn't it?
Yeah, my sister came here before me, and I just kind of followed her footsteps because I want to go to Poly. So then I heard there was a volleyball team. I was like, okay, I'll just play. And just ended up working out.
Now, what's been the big difference for you between last year and this year? You're having a big season this year. Mm-hmm. What was the big change for you?
I would say playing all the way around. Last year I didn't play back row. I actually never really played back row even in high school or club, so that's different.
Now, most people would say at about 5'9", last year we had a couple of 6-footers in there in the middle. You might be an undersized middle blocker, but somehow you found a tremendous amount of success this season. What's been the secret? Coming in as a smaller player, how do you stack up with those middles and be so successful this year?
Honestly, I just hit the ball. I just get up and just hit it. They don't scare me. I don't know.
Okay.
I can interject from as to why Kelly's
Coach,
so successful. From a coach perspective, Kelly sees the court amazingly well, and she can go up and identify if a blocker has pulled in on her and they're doubling up, and she sees the open hole and she puts the ball in the open hole. I mean, and she swings incredibly fast, and that fast arm swing gets her, a kill up down on the court. So yeah, she doesn't give herself enough credit.
What was the thing that got you into volleyball in the first place?
In middle school, I just played every sport, and I just loved volleyball, and I just kept sticking with it. Yeah.
Now, as you come into your first season, Coach, next year you kind of had a lot of sophomores back this year, but you also had a lot of new kids. What's your plans for recruiting both locally and kind of out of the area? I know Cuesta has a draw, but what about in county?
So in the county, I'm definitely trying to nurture my relationships with the high school varsity programs and build that connection. I think knowing the local coaches, I work with a local club, and a lot of the coaches are affiliated with that same club, and just making sure I'm in contact with them and about our needs, and trying to offer an opportunity for kids to continue to play the sport they love. And I think so many times athletes at their senior year think, oh, I didn't get a scholarship, so now I'm done playing. It's like, no, you're not done. Come over here to Cuesta, get some classes figured out for you, and come play for me and have fun. And I'm trying to make it an environment where it's not so pressure driven, but it's just a social aspect. And I think the local high school coach relationships is the key for me. So
far this year, what are some of the new lessons you've learned as a head coach that's going to help you on your way down the road?
I've learned that I have to spell out the match video assignments very clearly. Girls, no, I need to give clear directions and make sure that my communication is always is crystal clear. So I think that is any lesson in any job that you have, is making sure your expectations are always explicit. And I think I'm working on that with my players and using communication tools online and trying to, build a page on Canvas and trying to reach them where they're at. So just.
Well, good luck to both of you the rest of the way. Cougars are 10-6 right now, getting into conference play, so now it's time to pick up some wins. So good luck. Yes. Thank you very much for joining us, Kelly Cole and Coach Whitney Meyer. When we return with Cuesta Sports Monthly, we'll take some time with Cuesta Athletic Director Bob Mariucci. I'm Peter Schuler. We'll be right back with more Cuesta Sports Monthly.
This program is produced by Cuesta Broadcasting. Start your radio, TV, and film career at Cuesta College.
Schuler, and we are joined by Cuesta Athletic Director Bob Mariucci. Bob, welcome back to Cuesta Sports Monthly.
Thank you, Pete.
This is our little annual "What's Happening in Athletics" meeting here. Yeah. So for the interview. So what's the newest thing? What's got you excited about this year here at Cuesta College?
Well, I think from your previous interviews or shows with a couple new coaches, we have two new coaches. Our softball coach Janelle Guadagno, who I think was on the first show, and then Whitney Meyer, who's been on this show right now. We're excited about them taking over the programs, and so we're excited about that. We're excited about we're in the midst of our fall seasons right now, and some teams are ramping up for conference championships and so forth. So there's a lot going on always in the fall here midstream, and But a lot of good things are happening right now, so we're excited about.
So those two new coaches. I mean, we've talked about some changes to some programs. Janelle, with softball, hopefully that's a stopgap. We've had 8 coaches the last decade.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about having Janelle come in there now? She's on a tenure track. Is that going to make a difference, you think, for the program? And
oh yeah.
How are you liking what she's doing with the program so far?
Yeah, definitely. And that was a great hire. Like I said, we've had a part-time softball coach for a long time, as you said, and and she's full-time. She'll be an instructor in our department. Very vested, and just we were really fortunate to get her, and she's really run with the fall program right now. Not a lot of players, on her team thus far, but the way they've been working in the weight room and on the field, they've had some fall scrimmages, and so I'm very excited about her. She's really enjoyed it in our department too. So, we got a great staff. So, finally with a full-time coach like that, they can do some things with that program to keep it consistent. We've kept it afloat, and it's been very good. I mean, we've actually done a good job with maintaining the success of our softball program, but I'm anxious to see what she'll do with it.
And Janelle showed a lot of enthusiasm out there, and she's hitting the bushes trying to make sure she gets a competitive team out there, so it should be exciting in the spring. Now Whitney is we're in a situation where we had a super stable program. She's only the 5th coach in 40 years for that program, or 42 years at this point, and when she replaces her former coach, Rocky Nystrom, who had been there has been on the bench or been part of the program since the 3rd year of the program. Yeah. Since 1979. Yeah. So talk about a little bit what you see with Whitney as coming in there as her first year. Yeah. And remember, she was just on the show, so be nice.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to just say, to Rocky Nystrom, what a tremendous career that she's had. I mean, she's been there. I think you put it in the program 33 years. As a player, assistant coach, and head coach, and she has really been the stalwart of our athletic department. And we're going to truly miss Rocky and thank her for all that she's done for our program, because she's been very successful and run a great program. But what I like about Whitney, though, she kind of fits the same mold. She played for Rocky, she's coached with Rocky for a while, and so the success of that program will continue. And I've always enjoyed that program. I mean, they balance the competition and the experience really well. They travel and they do fun things, and they're out in the community. So Rocky's really established a really good program, and I think Whitney's just going to seamlessly take that over.
Yeah, so far it's been that way. Yeah, it seemed. A lot of the new things coming in there with those players have really fallen right under Whitney, who was Rocky's assistant the last few years. So, of course, the big question always in college athletics is funding, and especially here at Cuesta College. What are some of the things that we can do with fundraisers, or some of the things that some of the people in the community can do to help support Cuesta College athletics? Yeah,
and just as being one of our coaches, it's a struggle. We're always doing it. I'll just look at some of the things we've done recently. We just got done with hosting the City to the Sea half marathon. That proceeds go to Cuesta College athletics. Obviously primarily track and field, cross country programs, but all of our other teams were involved with it to tap into a little bit of the funding there. It was a great event, for us. Just over the fall, a lot of coaches do their own, a lot of the golf tournaments. Ron Barber just had a memorial golf tournament that raised significant funds. Joe Dansby had a wrestling one recently. I mean, I can go through everybody's program, and everybody has, their types of fundraisers and so forth. I would just say, when in the community, whenever there's an event, just try to help support it, because it is going towards our student athletes to make things better for us. We have to work on a limited basis, budget, but these little events that we have they're significant, and our athletic boosters do a lot for us with various things. So we'll continue to raise money and make this experience for our student athletes, very rewarding.
I know the City of the Sea is always a big one, and it primarily supports cross country and track, but all the teams get together and kind of help support that program, which is a great event all the way through. It's been like that for the years. One of the things that is coming down the pike a little bit for us, and we've been through this before, was the reconferencing. And last time we were slated to go back over to the Central Valley Conference, where we were in the early 80s, or we were hoping to go to the Coast Conference, where we also were. We were to split conferences. Recently, some of the CIFs, the local high schools, have moved into the Valley CIF. Is that going to be a factor, you think? Do you think that's going to give the 3CAA reason to try and shove us back into the Valley?
That's a good point, because and my kids went to Templeton, and I think now they're over in that
right.
conference.
And I just remember Alan Hancock made a video and did not want. We were both supposed to go over there. They made a big video about a production about not moving back to the Valley, and I just wanted to see where.
Well, I think we're a couple years away with the California community colleges making decisions on movement and so forth. But what happens with Cuesta is, you know, we're really remote from all of the other community colleges within LA, within Northern California. So we're always going to be having to travel and be the last man out, really, for, you know what I mean, because we do travel the most in this whole state for work because of where we're located. So for people that don't know, you know, there's always been discussion on does Cuesta stay with the Southern California schools down in Ventura and Moore Park and, you know, Santa Barbara, or do they move to the north, possibly up into Cabrillo and, you know, Santa Cruz and Salinas area, or even to the east, which would be, you know, Bakersfield, Porterville, Sequoias. But long story short, we'll discuss that, and you know, our coaches are somewhat, you know, open to any type of decision. We do have a great conference right now, very competitive, very successful. We've been in it, but those discussions will take place at the state level over the next couple of years. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, just the big change with the CIF is. That was the question.
You're right.
If that's going to be a factor for us. One of the things, big thing on Cuesta College, as everybody sees going around campus, is the Measure L, some of the funding with the bond, and I just want to see how that's affecting you over here in athletics, and what you're looking forward to, and what's your
well, yeah, a lot of things with Measure L, you know, for the whole college, but in athletics in particular. A couple things that we have going for us is the pool. You know, that's been a big community, you know, visible thing that we are doing. So this May, we are closing down our pool to refurbish the whole pool, the whole bottom, the whole pool facility is kind of being redone. Not a lot of new building or modifications to it. However, you know, they do need to replace that pool, and that'll be down May 2018 all the way through May 2019.
And then the gym, and
then the gym will begin in 2019 and go down probably for a year, you know, at that point. So the gym floor is something we need to replace. So those are
that's been something that's been tough for a long time.
Yeah.
So those are two things two of the original early structures here at Cuesta College that need a little love and tender care here.
Definitely, yeah.
All right, well, we'll be looking forward to those and see what's happening here in athletics. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Pete.
Bob Mariucci, Cuesta Athletic Director. That concludes today's edition of Cuesta Sports Monthly. Remember to stay up to date on Cuesta Athletics. Visit the Cuesta Athletic website for information on all of Cuesta's athletic teams. We'd like to thank today's guests, Sam Duston, Cam Goldstone, Whitney Meyer, Kelly Cole, and of course, Bob Mariucci. This show is produced at Cuesta College by the Cuesta Film, Television, and Electronic Media Department as part of the Cuesta TV project. Check out Charter Channel 2 all year long for this show, as well as other ongoing broadcasts of Cuesta athletic events. I'm Peter Schuler. For all of us here at Cuesta, thanks for watching, and thank you for your support of Cuesta College Athletics.